Amen. How many of you know that we need to keep a view of heaven on our mind? Because if we keep a view of heaven on our mind, it'll help us to deal with this crazy world in which we live in. I want you very quickly to turn with me to the Gospel of Luke, the 22nd chapter. Beginning at the 28th verse. There is a word from the Lord. There is a word from the Lord for my situation tonight. Amen.
Hallelujah. Glory to God.
Luke 22. Thank these men for.
Yes, sir.
Come on, let's bless them.
Yes, sir.
For ushering in.
Great. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
The presence of the Lord.
Thank you.
28th verse says, he said, you are they which have continued with me in my temptation. And I appoint unto you a king as my Father hath appointed unto me, that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan has desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith faileth not. And when you are converted, strengthen thy brethren. Father, in the name of the Lord Jesus, I thank you for this time of ministry. And I pray that you will anoint me afresh, that I will be able to minister this word in accordance to your spirit. Satan, I want you to know that you will not hinder the word of the Lord from going forth, nor the people from receiving it. And then not only hearing it, but they'll be able to apply it. So we bind you and any demonic force that will try to hinder that purpose from going forward. I stand in the authority of the Lord Jesus, but God, to you and to you alone, I yield myself over.
Yes, sir.
So that you can use me. In Jesus' name. Amen. Look at the 32nd verse. I haven't done this in a while. Just flat out preached in a while. And so I don't know how this is going to work out. But this is not necessarily me, it's flat out right preaching. But the 32nd verse, he said, but I prayed for thee, that thy faith faileth not. And when thou art converted, strengthen your brother. The back of the verse right before then, the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan has desired you, that he may sift you like wheat. The Amplified says, verse 31, this way, Simon, Simon, Peter, listen, Satan has asked excessively that all of you be given unto him out of the power and keeping of God. that he may sift you like wheat. But I have prayed. Look at your neighbor and say, you know, Satan just don't want the preacher. He wants all of us to be given up out of the power of God. So we need to pray for each other. I want to talk with you tonight from the subject of from pain to process to power. From pain to process to power. As I meditated on this word, this thought that had just literally leaped into my spirit, I am convinced that this is a rhema word for the body of Christ because we are all experiencing this right now. Amen. And yet we don't really know how and what it is. We're talking about pain. I believe that what we're experiencing is not really pain, it's really transition. Right. Yet we talk about it, but we don't know that it is painful, but yet helpful, because we have not been equipped mentally to handle transition. God has to prepare his children for that which they have not yet experienced. He has to prepare them mentally for that which they have not experienced. And this is the essence of faith and transition. All right. I told the Bible study a few weeks ago that any degree of manifestation or any new level that we walk in during this season would be realized by process. The good thing about process is that it can be duplicated or followed in multiple situations. And what the enemy is afraid of in your life is that which you learned the last time you failed. All right. He is afraid of what you learned the last time. He still wants you to be that little merely person who was weak and badly, but when you fell and you got up and you remembered and found out God is still with you. Yes. And that God still loves me no matter what goes on in my life. He's afraid of you and I really realizing who we are. Yes, sir. And whose we are. Yes, sir. We can learn a lot about process if we understand the fact that when God takes us through process, it is for strengthening purposes only. Right. The only reason you go through process or through something is for you to become out the other side strengthened. Yes, in transition, God declares the thing that he is about to do for us before we can even imagine that he would do it for us. And because we have no point of reference, we tend to get weird. Yeah. Because God says, I'm going to do this for you. And you kind of figure, well, if he's going to do that, he's going to take me from here to right to it. Yeah. But there's a place between what he says and oops, that is. Yeah. And that's called process. Yeah. In transition, God tells us, and Dr. Bishop, the thing about it is, he doesn't say, I'm getting ready to do it. Yeah. He said, I have done. You got to understand how God talks. Yes, he always talks in past tense. Yeah. Yes, sir. He talks in anything in the Bible is in there. I have delivered you. Yes, sir. I have healed you. And so God needs us to begin to receive what he's already done. Now, to help you and I get to this thing and get through this quickly, I need to give you a few definitions that will keep coming up in our talk. The first one is the word transition, which is a passage from one place or state to another. or pass directly from one key point to another. Your life is forever moving.
Yes, sir.
There's no such thing as standing pat in life. Every day you're getting older, whether you want to admit it or not.
Yes, sir.
The next word is process. And that one of the definitions of that is a course of state of going on, or a series of events or action. Forward movement.
Yeah.
Finally, to handle something using a set of procedures to get you to the desired outcome. The next word is pain. Physical or mental suffering. Hurting is trouble or to cause distress to. The last one is power, which is the ability to do something. Legal force or authority. Or this is the one I really love, that you are being served by an auxiliary system that reduces your effort. That's what power is. Over on that wall right there is a power outlet.
Yeah.
The book of James, chapter 5, verse number 16 says, the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. In the Amplified, it says, it made great power available.
Yes, sir.
But if you don't plug into it, that power is there. But if you don't plug into it, even though it's been made available. So your life is really being served by an auxiliary force that makes all your effort easy if you plug into the right power. I pray that we have a foundation of understanding, and I want to look at some lessons that we learn out of this text. Jesus talks to them and he says, Pastor Taylor, he tells them, he said, you are they that have continued with me in my temptation. He said, look, if you telling the boys, now look, you done been through some things with me, you done seen some things with me, you got to understand, Jesus is now transferring himself from being teacher to the crucified Lamb that will become the risen Savior. That will become, he is sitting on the right hand of the Father making intercession on our behalf. But he was also transitioning power from him and the Father to the 12 that had endured with him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He said, you have been with me in my temptation, and therefore I'll appoint unto you a kingdom.
That's what he said.
Even just like my Father appointed one to me. Now you got to understand the backdrop of this. He walked up on them and they were arguing about who would be greater in the kingdom.
Yes, sir.
Don't that sound just like church people? Who's the most anointed person? And Jesus, the shepherd, the pastor, walks up and says, now wait a minute. This kind of foolishness the Gentiles be worried about, all of y'all are equal.
Yes, sir.
He appoints to them and says that you're with me. And he says, I'm appointing you a kingdom as my Father appointed me, that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom.
What he said.
Then he said something, Dr. Bishop. He said that you will sit on thrones.
That's what he said.
And you will be judging the tribes of Israel.
Yes, sir.
You and I have been given the place of authority to begin to judge angels.
Yes, sir.
When we get into the rapture.
That's right.
But then, to keep them from getting all beside himself, and he probably knew that by this time Peter was pumping his chest like, I knew I was better than all y'all. He just instead of him making all of y'all feel bad. He's saying that I am the one. He just said all of y'all. But then he singled Simon out. And he said, Simon, Simon, get it out. He said, the devil, oh, wait a minute, desires you that he may sift you like wheat. Now I'm going to lose a good bit of the people right here because many of them don't know what a sifter is. You know, Grandma had a sifter in her house because she had flour that she didn't get out of a 2-pound bag of flour. You got it out of a gold can. And she will dip that flour in there and she get ready to make those biscuits and get ready to make the cakes. But she got to do some sifting because when the flour was sipped, some impurities got in it. So she would churn that thing. And that flour would sip down in there. And then when it got down to the bottom, she would just kind of shake it. And it would be some more stuff down in there. She would never put that in. She would go dump that out. Because she did not want the trash to get into the good. So the Lord is telling Peter, the devil wants to sift you like wheat, but it wasn't to get the bad stuff out of you. But it was designed to make you bitter. Now here's the first thing about the sifting. The first thing is that the only way that the saints of God get sifted is first by they have to have divine permission. He said Satan desires. In other words, he had to ask God to even touch Satan. Touch people. You got to see that even though the enemy may come after you and do some things in your life, he had to ask permission because you are not a child of this world. You are a child of God. And no matter what's happening to you right now, if it is happening, it's by divine permission. The tough part about this is that God sometimes allows the enemy to come against you. But your part is just to remember that even though he come against you, no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. So the first thing we learn is that the sifting is only by divine permission. The second thing that we have to understand about the sifting is that we must determine the purpose for our problem or our situation. Because nothing happens in the life of a believer by happenstance. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says this: to everything there is a season and a time for every matter or purpose under the heaven. So we first got to understand, know that it's because of divine permission that the enemy is even touching you. Second, you must understand and get to know, you got to determine the purpose of your problem or of your situation. And the third thing is you got to be honest with yourself and really say and come to know that the sifting process is really painful. You know, I'm scared of these super saints. I'm just happy. No matter what. They done misquoted and done messed up somebody's life. They say, you know, that you for everything, you ought to give God thanks. That is not what the Bible says. The Bible said in everything, not for. Then they'll mess around and talk about, well, you know, if the good working for my bad and my bad, everything. That's not what the Bible is talking about. There is talking about prayer. It said we don't know how to pray like we ought to in Romans 8. But it said, he who searches the heart knows the mind of the Spirit, and he come and make perfect intercession according to the will of God. And we know that all those who are called and fitted into his plan, called good. All things gonna work together for good. Because if the good is working for your good and the bad is working for your good, why live holy? What's the difference? If I'm gonna get the same reward as the drug dealer, why am I gonna be up here in church giving praise to God if the good and the bad? So I gotta be honest and really tell somebody that, look, this symptom that I've gone through, it was painful.
Yes, sir.
But because I know the purpose of it,
Yes, sir.
oh, and let me just say this and let the cat out the bag. What you're going through right now ain't really for you. It's really for somebody else. To let somebody else know that they can count on God. So you got to understand that that it is painful. You got to understand the purpose for your problem. You got to understand this by divine permission. But the fourth thing is you must understand that the sifting in your life is a part of the process. Come here, Job. Job 23:10 says, but he knows the way that I take. He has concern for it. He appreciates and pays attention to it. When he has tried me, I shall come forth as refined gold, pure and luminous. Now you got to understand, you got to first know about divine permission. Second, you got to know that there's a purpose for your problem. Third, that you got to know that the process is painful. But you must also know that what you're going through is part of the process. But the thing we need to learn is that we've got to learn to handle our sifting process with prayer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because Jesus said he desires to sift you, but I prayed for you. You tell me anybody that Jesus prayed for that didn't get their prayer answered. He said, I prayed for you that your faith fail you not. Now, Pastor Taylor, I'm going to get in trouble right here. Faith, if he prayed that his faith wouldn't fail him, then there is a time that your faith may fail you. You've been in a thing too long and the pressure gets too hard, your faith will begin to shrink. You know, John the Baptist, Jesus said he's the greatest. There's no other man born of woman other than him. When he was in prison, his faith began to fail him. He told the disciples, he said, you go and ask Jesus, is he really the one or do we need we need that look for somebody else? So all you super saints that say your faith won't fail you, are you greater than John the Baptist? Jesus said, I prayed for you that your faith not fail you, but when you are converted. In other words, when you miss it, when you operate outside of faith, when you are converted, when you come back, get in the right place of faith, I want you to do something. I want you to strengthen your brother. That lets you know what you are going through is not just for you, but it's to help you to be able to strengthen the next person that's going through it. But what we do, we set up in church because we want people to have this opinion of us like we ain't never gone through nothing, never experienced nothing, like we went from the dope head to sainthood. We make this thing too simplistic. We make it seem like we arrived overnight success. There are no overnight success in the body of Christ. Every one of us have gone through something, are going through something, or we're heading to something to go. See, the reason that you got to learn how to handle your sifting process with pain, with prayer, is so that you can begin to realize that when the enemy sees pain, God sees power. And when the power arrives, it should lead to praise.
That's right.
I'll say that again. The enemy sends pain,
He does.
so God can receive power. And when the power arrives, it should lead to praise. Listen what the writer of Psalms 13, verses 1 through 6 said. He's in trouble.
Yeah.
He said, how long? That sounds like he said, like I could have wrote that one. How long will you forget me, O
What he
Lord?
said.
Forever?
Yeah.
How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I lay up cares within me and have sorrow in my heart day after day?
Yes, sir.
How long shall my enemy exalt himself over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Lighten the eyes of my faith to behold your face in the pitch like darkness, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Then it's almost like something happened to him.
Yeah.
But he said, but I trusted, leaned on, and been comforted in your mercy and loving kindness. My heart shall rejoice and be in high spirits in your salvation. Oh, I will sing unto the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. See, you understand? Can you see the transition now? He was in pain. He was hurting. He began to process it by prayer. He understood that it was by the divine permission. He began to say, how long will my enemy be over me? But he was saying that but my enemy is powerful, but you are all powerful.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And he began to process through that thing through pain, and he began to say, how long?
How long?
How long now? Am I going to hear? See, you don't have to try to press God back. I stretch my hand to thee. I come to you with my head hung in the locks of my shirt, looking to the mother dust from which I come. Thou, O God, open doors and no man can shut, and shut a door that no man can open. You did it for Shadrach, Meshach, and that bad man. I need you to do it for me. And you were asking him for money to pay your light bill. They was in the fiery furnace.
Yes, sir.
See, you gotta learn how to process which prayer to use in the process. Because for the most part, the body of Christ thinks that our prayer is nothing but like a double-barrel shotgun. Pull both barrels and you got to hit it. Paul says, I need you to pray with all manner of prayer. Then he begins to be specific: prayer, petition, prayer, intercession. See, I know this is number second nature to you all. Y'all got to teach it. I'm just here with the old Sunday school. Y'all got to preach it. The enemy wants us to feel like God doesn't love us, or he is holding out on us when we are in process. He thinks God is holding out. The children of Israel had got in a trouble. And when they got out, in Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 27, it says, you were a little peevish in your own tent because you thought that the Lord hated you, because you said in your own mind, he brought us out here in this here wilderness to kill us.
That's his word. Yes, sir. All right.
See, the enemy always wants you to turn the object of your attack away from him and turn it back on God.
Yes, sir.
But you need to know and understand, no matter what's going on in your life, what's happening to you, it does not diminish God's love for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In Deuteronomy 1, he tells them that they had already become more numerous than the stars of the sky, and he blesses you and says unto them, God will make you more 100 times, 1,000 times more prosperous than you already are.
Yeah.
But because they were murmuring and complaining,
Yes, sir.
because they could not understand God's love in the face of adversity, it negated all of this. And I am convinced that the enemy has some time-tested and tried tactics that have proven to be successful against the saints. But I thank God that I stand before you tonight as a prophet of the Lord to shed light on these tricks and undo the bonds of wickedness upon your life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm standing as a, see, all that right there will get you, bring you in, to let you become honest with yourself. All of us going through something.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Amen. And when people tell you that they ain't going through, tell me your secret, and I'm scared of you.
Yeah.
Because I read in my Bible, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord is still going to deliver me out of every one of them. I also read that those that will live godly in Christ Jesus are going to suffer persecution. So if you are not suffering persecution or affliction, you might be walking with the devil. And we got to understand that the devil is defeated, but he ain't crazy. Because I've often wondered, Dr. Bishop, why didn't he unleash the full fury of his attack on me when I was bugging and thugging and acting like a fool? Then the Lord said, he ain't stupid, son. He ain't going to beat you and make you run to me. That's why he didn't beat you. That's why he didn't mess with you as bad whenever you were running with him. Because you were working with him. And it would have been contrary for him to start working against you. It's only because you done decide that I'm going to make Jesus the Lord of my life. That he says, now you are a threat to me. Well, let me say this. He don't mind you just coming to church. Having a good little time in church. He don't mind you.
Yes, sir.
And all of them right there. Just as long as you don't start trying to have impact on somebody else. The moment you start having impact and start trying to let other people go free, I want to announce to you, you just made yourself a problem. Now the fact is, it's in Isaiah 59. It says, about verse number 16 through 19, he said, whosoever departed himself from evil makes himself a prey. So you've been thinking, why is it that the devil is coming after you? It's because you done departed from evil. You already done made yourself a prey. But let me tell you this, you need to get you a t-shirt. And you need to put on the front and the back. And let the devil know you walk around like a roaring lion, but don't hunt what you can't kill. Because as one of my hillbilly brothers say, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got to go. Y'all pray for me back there. Y'all know I ain't got good things. But you think about it. When you was out in the world, the one person you did not want to get in a fight with was a fool. Because you hit a fool, he's like, that's all you got. He said, oh, it's only popping now. You hit him and he standing there. But even before that, you get ready to fight and he hitting his own self upside the head. You need to be looking, I hope somebody break this up before it ever gets started. But if you start going at the devil and telling him, look at him, you came at my mama, you came at my daddy, but I got a little bit more invested in me. I got a little word in me, and I understand that you are already defeated, and I put you under my foot in the name of Jesus. He started telling you, I'm going to kill you with some disease. How can you kill a dead man? Because the Bible says, Paul says, I'm crucified with Christ. Nevertheless, I live. And this life I now live in the flesh. I live by the faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave his life for me. How can you kill a dead man?
Yes, sir.
Let me get back to my assignment. Here is his tool. The first tool that he got is fainting. 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 Yeah. This is one of the chief weapons that he uses to stop us. David, and I'm using this passage by permission of Minister Campbell. She's here. She wrote this in the Bible. She just let David take the credit. In Psalm 27, and you need to have a scripture that belongs to you.
Yes, sir.
David, in Psalm 27, verse 13, David said, I would have fainted if I had not believed to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living.
Yes, sir.
Some of the modern translations think things like, I would have lost hope.
Yes, sir.
I would have been in despair. Or I would have given up on my confidence if I had not believed in the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. A truth about the matter concerning our fainting is that the enemy is the one who has brought us to this place of despair.
Yeah.
And God doesn't have any part in it. God wants us to take our stance in him and not lose our heart.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The second enemy, the trick that he has, is weariness.
Yes, sir.
Weariness is another weapon
That's
that the enemy uses to cause us to kill.
That's it.
Daniel 7:25 says, literally said, that the enemy will speak great words against the Most High and will wear out the saints of the Most High and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto his hand unto a time and a times and a dividing of time. But the judgment shall sit.
Look at that.
And they shall take away his dominion to consume and destroy it until the end.
Yes, sir.
What are you saying, Pastor? Passion, purpose, and persistence will keep us from giving up doing these here tough times in our life. Because what you pursue, passion reveals what you pursue.
Yeah.
And persistence determines your outcome.
Yeah.
You remember the story in the Bible about the widow,
Yes, sir.
the unrighteous judge?
Yes, sir.
He said, I don't have no regard for God or man.
Yeah.
But because this persistent woman, she gonna wear me out.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the word.
That's right.
He said, I'm gonna give her relief because of her persistence.
That's right. That's right.
And then Jesus makes a statement that he said, listen to what the unjust judge said. I don't have no regard for God or man, but because of the persistence of this woman, he said, will not your Father avenge his elect? David said, the Lord deliver me at speech. Somebody say, God, come get me quick. I'm down here, and I need the Lord to come get me. You know, I mean, ever seen the little cute commercial about the young boy that going in the bathroom trying to be a big boy? He clean. He got a little serious other thing, and he in there trying to be a big boy, and he get it there, and he trying to get He said, Mom, we got a situation in here. Well, why don't you start saying, Father, I got a situation right here, and I get. Matter of fact, the Lord gives you an invitation. In Jeremiah 33, he says, I am the Lord thy God. Let me just set it up all over.
Yes, sir.
The verse 1 says, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah a second time.
Yes, sir.
While he was still shut up in the guardhouse.
That's right. That's right.
The word came to him the second time. But it was the same word that he spoke back to him in chapter 29. He tells them, look, you're in a situation. You're going to be there for 70 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead and settle down in there. Build houses, live in them. Give your sons to wives so they can have them. He said, because I'm not coming back until Babylon has fulfilled its purpose. 70 years and not one day before. He said, begin to settle down in there. This will help you on those jobs. He said, pray for the peace of that city and the welfare of that place, because in their welfare you gonna find welfare. See, you can't go on the job and keep acting like them other idiots that's on the job. See, because now you can't talk about favor ain't fair and then start acting like foo-foo the time. Because he reminded him, I know the plans that I have. They are plans of peace and not of calamity. But in weariness, and one of the definitions of to be weary is to have all your sense of enjoyment exhausted. Yeah. There are times that we come to church and we ain't feeling church.
That's right. That's right.
We weary.
Many times.
And guess what? We should never worship God out of empty spirit.
Thank you, Spirit. Yes, sir. That's good.
Because understand, your flesh is going to always try to get you to stop. Because if you can push past your flesh, you will step somewhere. Something happens somewhere between holler and look that you walk into and your enemies can't come in there. If you can, sometimes if you would just command your soul to praise God, because every praise ain't because of it. In spite of my condition, I haven't got the job yet. Good God Almighty, but I'm going to praise Him now, because I know if I praise Him in advance, I'm going to make something start to happen.
Yes, sir.
The scripture says, be not weary in well doing, but in due season you're going to reap. Tap your neighbor and say, I got a due season owed to me. Come on, I got a new season. I got a new season. Because understand, as faithful as I've been to God, God can't give up on. He can't block me out. See, the enemy wants you to keep focusing on your problem. Come here, 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 3 through 9. He says that God has given you all things that pertain to life and godliness through the express knowledge of Jesus, who called you unto His glory. And even unto these precious, He has added to these precious promises that you will be able to escape by flight the corruption that is in this world. To these promises, add diligence. To this perfect brotherly love, begin to do this. Tell your neighbor that's some assembly required. God done gave you everything, but then there are some things you got to add to it. And it goes on down and says in there, he says, if these things be in you, they will not make you idle or unfruitful. Because whoever doesn't have these things have become spiritually blind and have forgotten that their sins have been forgiven. See, unfruitfulness called spiritual blindness, and spiritual blindness make you become short-sighted, and the only thing you can see is that which is real close to you. The enemy wants you to focus on the pain. But if I could understand the process, the pain ain't that bad. Because on the other side, when I go through the process, I'm going to have some power.
Yes, sir.
All right.
What you going to do right now? I doubled all day to begin to ask God. We ask God why, but we never ask him what is the purpose.
Yes, sir.
Or why I'm going through this. Because if I understand the purpose, I can deal with the pain.
Yes, sir.
If I can understand the pain, if I can deal with the pain, I understand that God is so faithful that he will never leave me nor forsake me. So I'm saying to you, giving you an invitation tonight, that if you will begin to break out of your pain just long enough to remember something God has done for you, it'll make that pain go away. Say, you know what? Don't make me get to thinking. Because if I get to thinking, I got to start thinking. I remember when he got me off the road. What was so good about me? Because I would have chosen me. I'm not talking about somebody in the street. I'm talking about me. He delivered me from drugs. Me.
Yes, sir.
He delivered me from wrong. See, that was the time you wouldn't be leaving your pocketbook. Before Christ, some of you like, now wait a minute. I'm talking about before Christ.
God, sir.
Because understand, before you can be receivable, you got to be believable. See, so many of us act like we came out our mother's womb speaking in tongues. If it had not been for the Lord that was on our side. The next thing is deferred hope. Proverbs 13:12 said, hope deferred makes the heart sick. The enemy wants you to give up on your dream, wants you to give up on your vision, wants you to give up just because you're having a little bit of adversity. Don't defer your hope.
That's right.
Let me see if I can make this legal. You know there's a thing while you're paying for your car. They used to call it, you can set it back, defer that payment to the end of the payment, but you're still paying the interest. You deferred it back there. But too many of the saints have deferred their dreams, have deferred the fact that God has made me the head and not the tail. And you can sit on the floor and eat the crumbs that fall off the table if you want to, but don't get mad if I kick you, because understand you got no business up under the table. God's children, he said that he prepared a table for me in the presence of my enemy. I ain't gonna be down there looking for no doggone crumb. Whenever the Lord said, David said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Why? Because thou art with me. Thou prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemy. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup running over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. He said another time in the Bible, when my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will pick me up. He'll hide me in the secret of his pavilion. In Psalms 57, he said, Lord, under thy wings will I rest until all these calamities pass me by. Then he said in Psalm 61, oh Lord, lead me to a rock that is higher than I, when my heart is overwhelmed. Lead me. Then later in Psalm 119, David began to say, you know what? I done matured in this thing. He said, it was good that I was afflicted. He said, as a matter of fact, before I became afflicted, I was already leaving it. Yes, sometimes with the Lord, it gets so good that you let your guard down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you need to be careful.
Yes, sir.
When things are real good,
Yeah.
don't stop praying.
Yes, sir.
That's the time double up on your prayer. Because understand, as much hell as you had to go through to get where you are. Oh, Lady Ellerbe, they finna run me out. God done brought you through loneliness, disappointment, and everything. You are now loving God, and here comes somebody from your past. Inboxing you on Facebook. Talking about sounding like Drake. Oh, do you know what the inside of your house looks like? Those boys. Then we go back and get an old one. They'll come on there trying to sound like Luke. If this world was mine. If you're a little older, they'll start singing like a temptation. I can turn the gray sky. I can make the seasons change just by waving my hand. All these things that I can do, I can't get next to you. And you need to tell them, you never will get next to him. You need to tell them, hammer time, can't touch this. Did not blow your mind this time. Did not do you crazy. Did not do Here, try to real. She's a bad man. You have got to know that there are some people that are not qualified to go to your next level in God, and because you didn't put them out, God shut them out. And you ought to be glad that God loved you enough to take them out your life. Ladies, you need to flush that mess out your mind when the joker told you you would never amount to anything. Because I made you who you were, and you're not going to be anything. You're going to get you some Miss Silly backbone. Who gonna take you, you ugly bitch? We not calling Juicy, she was going praise. But it's time for me to shut up now. From pain to process to power, you shall receive power once the Holy Ghost come up on you. I am so glad that I could go, if I wanted to, I could go to the liquor store and stand right by Easy Jesus.
That's right.
See, some of y'all know exactly. And it don't throw me down in the floor and tell me I gotta take a drink. But that wasn't your drink. You was one them drink gin because it ain't no sin. See, God gave you back your choice.
Yes, sir.
You can live holy if you want to. You got to stop taking some midnight phone calls.
Yeah!
You need to start asking yourself why he always calling me at midnight. Who he been talking to about to 11:30 and the rest of them. Because he got an old Wilson Pickett song. Now when it said in the midnight hour, that's when the love comes back. Talk back here and baby. He boy keep messing this up because he said, if you think you're lonely now, you just wait up. He did that. That's what, baby. That's an old school player right now. That's an old school player right now. He not listening to some of the best type of music. But here's what I want you to see. The enemy is good at separating you and keeping you by yourself. But in Joshua 23, he says this. One of you been used to putting 1,000. But God messes up the number. So he figured if one of us can put 1,000, then two of us can put 2,000. But now he said 2 of you gonna put 10,000. Why? Because the Lord is getting ready to fight for you. That's why he wants the church to always be at odds with one another. But if we get into unity according to Psalms 133, he said, oh, how good and pleasant it is that the brethren dwell together in unity. But it's like the oil that ran down Aaron's beard, Aaron's to his beard, like the dew of Mount Hermon. For it's there, where in unity that the Lord commanded the blessing and life forevermore. Tell your neighbor, we got to get in unity. Because God get ready to command a blessing on all of us. As a matter of fact, I'm going to join your hand right now. And so I can give you unity. And I want you to know I'm going to do everything I can to stay in unity with you. Because I need a commanded blessing. See, the word command me, it's got sealed instruction. It's got to do what it's supposed to do. See, you understand? The enemy don't want the Baptists and the Pentecostals. We want them to be at all. Because if we ever get together, we're going to see the devil salad. High five about 2 or 3 people. I got a blessing on the way. It's on the way. I know we got excited about the blessing on the way, but Jesus told the woman at the well, said, now the hour is coming, and now he is. Say, I'm in one of them now is blessings. How can something be coming and now is? See, understand, if you believe it right now and receive it as your present possession, that blessing ain't on the way. It's already in your hand. You can have the joy that you've been hoping for. You can have the peace. Snatch it from the devil and tell him, you had my joy long enough. You had my peace long enough. I done been through process. I done handled the pain. Now I'm ready for power. I'm more than a conqueror through him who loved me. I am the righteousness of God through Christ Jesus. I can lay hands on my own self. I will recall. I can cast out demons and they got a tremble. who know their God will do great exploits.
Yes.
Speak prophetically to you. The Lord has moved the body of Christ into a time-sensitive season. He spoke about it in Jeremiah. He said, while you are yet calm, I'm going to be answering. If you would put your confidence and your faith in God, while you are yet, He's already He arranges stuff. That's why you couldn't die. Matter of fact, he said this to the church. But he said it through Mordecai to Esther. Don't flatter yourself. Don't feel so comfortable because the Lord is blessing you right now. Because if you be silent now, then enlargement or deliverance for Israel will come from another place. Folks, let me say something. The church been too silent. And that's why deliverance hadn't come for people that look like me and you.
Jesus! My God, my God, my God. Yes, sir.
He said, do you not know that you came into the kingdom of God for such a time as this? As we stand to our feet, think about what you have been through. Some people have blown their brains out.
Say that.
With what you have been going through. Death couldn't kill you because you were anointed for a time just like this.
Glory to God. Glory to God. Thank you, Lord. Glory to God.
There's some stuff in the change around my situation.
Yes, sir.
I dare you to put your hands on your hips and some things for the change around. There's some stuff in the change now. I understand what pain is part of the process. Is to lead me to power. It's some stuff in the change. I feel the Lord stretching out in me. I'm going home. I'm going to kick the devil out. All you got to do is decree a thing. You ain't got to make it happen. The Lord said, all I need you to do is open your mouth and decree. I'll establish it for you. Then you got some things you need done tonight. Before I pray for you, I need to hear you. Make sure you're serious. But you know, if I start calling out stuff, the person beside you, if the person beside you is that crazy to be in your business, they need to be calling God because they got some problems with this. Forget the person to your left and to your right. And call unto the Lord. But he said, in the day of trouble, you call upon me. I'll hear you and I'll forgive you. And the old boy, she hollered that. I agree with her. Forget free. See, the reason I told you that you have got to begin to decree a thing. Think about this. Hit before you start thinking. Debt cancellation is a spirit, like a personality. And you got children, and sometimes you call them, and they don't hear it. It don't mean they can't hear it. They just don't hear it. So you call. What do you do then? And if you from an old school, you call them by their first and their middle name, and they know you ain't playing dude. So debt cancellation has been loose in the earth, but God ain't had nobody to call it in. I call in debt cancellation. In the name of the Lord Jesus, for the people of God that have been faithful, have supported kingdom work and assignment, I call it in the name of Jesus. As a matter of fact, I call in healing right now from every infirmity, every situation. I call it in the name of Jesus. I call in deliverance for our children and our children's children and the blackest sheep of the family. I call them saved. Great shall be the peace of our children, for they shall be taught by God, and they're going to do the will of God. I speak in the name of Jesus. I call forth that which the enemy has stolen from us and from our parents and our parents' parents in the form of high interest rates where they robbed us and took it. I call it forth right now into the name of Jesus so that we can begin to do kingdom work. We don't have to wait on the government to build a house for unwed mothers. That we'll build a house for unwed mothers. That we'll be able to have a place where people are struggling with alcohol and drug addiction. They can come to the house of God. That we'll have facilities that are not shoddy, but they are beautiful. They are staffed with top-notch people. I call forth in the name of Jesus promotion on your job. I call for promotion. Promotion doesn't come from the head of the company. It doesn't come from corporate, but it comes from north. It comes from the Lord. I call promotion in your life in the name of Jesus. I decree and declare that your coming behind days are over. That the Lord in this year will make you catch up. You will finish this year, not in the red, but you're going to finish in the black. You're going to have more than enough to be able to take care of your home. You're going to have more than enough to be able to sow, to be able to save, to be able to speak in the name of the Lord Jesus. I call forth right now the years that the cankerworm has stolen from us. In Jesus' name, you're going to give it up right now. I command you. We don't ask you. I command you in the name of the Lord Jesus. I call for real praise into the house of God. Because God said he ordained praise to silence the avenger. We need to shut the devil's mouth up. I wish that you would begin to give thanks unto the Lord. Begin to say, for the Lord is good. His mercy endures forever. Oh, the Lord is good. His mercy endures forever. For the Lord is good. His mercy. But let me explain what was happening. When Jehoshaphat was in a bad situation, they said, Lord, we don't know what to do, but our eyes is on you. And he said, on tomorrow, I need you to set yourself, for this battle is not yours, it's the Lord. I need some worshipers to go out and say, for the Lord is good, his mercy endures forever. And he said, whenever Israel begin to do that, that the Lord set up ambushment against his enemy. See, if you want God to go ambush your enemy, I tell you, if you will praise him in here, you will walk in victory out there. So praise him. He turned my mourning into day. He just turned your situation. He just turned it. He said, you just give me your best praise. He turned it.